So, question of the day is why do I add sugar to my food, to my meal? So, there is multiple reasons for it, but first of all, I think it would make sense to clarify what sugar is and what it isn't, because I often get the impression that other people do not actually know what sugar is and how it is processed. Sugar is a slightly processed plant. It is squeezed and dried and not some chemical from the lab or some artificial sweetener or some MSG. It is a processed plant. And white sugar, is what I have here, is slightly more processed or more refined than panela or the brown cane sugar also. So, why do I add it? I have multiple reasons for it. The first is taste. I have a sweet tooth and I like sweet fruit and sweet food. And most fruit that we can get in the supermarket, at least the ones that is not locally grown, is picked unripe and has less sweetness and less nutrients. And it has therefore a lower Brix score. The Brix score is an indicator of how much sugar is in a fruit, and it has a range from like probably 0 to I think 30 or 40, and you can say that if it has a Brix of 30, then it's around 30 grams of sugar for 100 grams. And the Brix score of ripe fruit, of course, is way higher than unripe fruit. And if you are not in the luxury situation to have ripe fruit at hand year round, adding sugar to smoothies, to fruit salad, sometimes to the starches also is just a good way to get that in. And I also have an anecdote for that because I often buy frozen mango chunks to add them in fruit salad or stuff like that. And I would say in a bag that has like a kilo, there are some chunks that are ripe and they are dark and colorful and taste really good, but the rest is more or less average. And I have eaten mangoes directly from the tree, like in Costa Rica, in Monteverde, and also in Jamaica, in Kingston. I found a mango on the street that just dropped from the tree, and I ate it. And I would never ever consider adding sugar to that because it tasted so good, so rich, so sweet also. And I also wouldn't add sugar to fruit that is naturally sweet, like jackfruit, dates, persimmons, sapodilla also. Um, I wouldn't, if I eat like a persimmon from the tree, like on the Canary Islands in the last year, I would never ever get to the idea to put sugar on it because it just tastes perfectly as it is. But most fruit, in my experience, is not picked ripe, does not have these qualities, the taste. That's the first reason I add sugar to it. And to me, it just tastes better, I can say. The second reason I add sugar is it gives energy. It is often said that sugar is like empty calories, which is true in the sense that it doesn't contain any other nutrients, vitamins, polyphenols, minerals. But getting energy is also something I want from my food, so it's not empty in the sense that it gives me nothing, or it would be like water. So that's the second reason. The third reason is practicality, because I can get sugar, I would say, anywhere in the world. Even when I don't have a huge variety of fruit, or the fruit is completely unripe, or I have to wait for bananas to ripen or stuff like that, I can get apples, I can get grapes, maybe some frozen fruit, blend it up, put sugar in it, and I have a perfect meal. So that's the next reason. And another reason is it prevents junk food cravings and cravings also for oily food. So it is also the question, if you add sugar, what would you eat instead? If you eat ripe fruit, eat the ripe fruit. If you have a vegetable that you like or a starch-based high carb cooked meal, you can also go for that. But if you would eat like nuts, seeds, oil, avocados even, personally right now I go for the sugar. I would say it is for itself not a health food, but I prefer to stay high carb than with slightly less micronutrients than the opposite, like to eat something that is higher fat but that contains more minerals and more vitamins. That's at least right now. And I also have to say, none of the claimed disadvantages are something that I have experienced yet. I have no tooth decay because of eating sugar. I have no signs of diabetes. I have no weight gain since I began to eat sugar and to add sugar to my food. I don't have a fatty liver disease. At least I don't know. Maybe it's there and it's hiding really well. And I don't have a lot of inflammation in my body. And I will do my next blood work in May, I think April or May. So if you want to see the results, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for that. So I don't see the disadvantages. I don't have any problems with it, and right now it's something that feels good and that makes sense. And yeah, last anecdote for that topic is when I told my parents why I do it and what my style of eating is right now. And like adding sugar and staying really low on the fats, my mother was saying like, yeah, but there is like Uncle Willy, typical German name, Uncle Willy, and he always had this saying, fat smears the colon and the intestines, and that's why you have to eat some fat, and that's why fat is important, and especially if you want to be healthy. Well, he died prematurely of a brain tumor. Coincidence with the fat consumption? I don't know. You decide and keep in mind from who you want to take health advice. Okay, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you add sugar to your food, why, if you don't, why not, and see you next time.